I sense you're in need of some spooky inspiration. You've come to the right place. Follow along as we conjure up 3 spooky and simple DIYs using mostly free supplies and a couple potions I picked up from the Dollar Tree. Let's go, witches.
Let's take the spooky story back to the beginning. This is what I started with. I bought a shelf from Hobby Lobby like 3 months ago, and this was the motivation I needed to hang it up. But let's be real, my husband hung it up and I just screwed in a single screw for the vibes, but it looked so good. Now let's start the first basically free DIY. I went outside and collected some leaves. I felt very fall-esque, and then I put them in some spooky books to press them overnight. I was being so gentle when I shut the books because I was hearing the leaves crunch, and I thought for sure I was going to dump out a bunch of leaf crumbs later, but they stayed intact. So hang tight, we'll come back to the leaves later. While the leaves were pressing, I started clearing the area that I want to transform to my spooky apothecary. I'm going for witchy Harry Potter vibes here.
Witch on a broom, she's casting doom, twisting beauty into gloom, boom, boom. Flying high under the moon, casting spells, dark as noon.
I'm going for a really dark aesthetic here, so I took the white flowery poster down and then I hung up the dark pomegranate poster. And then this cloth, I actually got it from Michael's like a month ago, and I'm so excited I can finally use it. It's very cute. And then this Charms Magic Potion piece, I got that like 10 years ago. It was probably the first Halloween decoration I ever bought, so it was fun to be able to use it. And then that purple jar, I got it from Target, and the rest of these jars I just thrifted over time. I'm going for like a cluttered apothecary look here, so I'm putting as much as I can on these shelves. And then one more thing I got from Michael's this season was this like magical hexes spell book. And I thought, what better use than to put the intentions that I wrote for myself like a month or 2 ago inside the spell book. And then I shoved it up by my plant, again, to go for that cluttered apothecary vibe. The next DIY is a witch's cauldron. I found my cauldron at a thrift store, and the rest of the supplies I used were from the dollar store. Their battery-powered Halloween lights are perfect for a spooky aesthetic. I grabbed 2 purples, which I'll use for the cauldron, and then 2 oranges that I'll use later. So first I used some just leftover packing supplies I had around the house for a filler, and you can use anything that you have for this. Then I started with 1 set of lights on the top. And if you want to make this and you need a cauldron, I saw that Michael's has some for like $4. Target has, I think they're bigger, for $10. And then I even saw mini cauldrons at Walmart for like $1. So I put on some webbing off camera, and then I decided I needed to add more lights. So I added the second set and I put it around the edges so that the color really stands out. And then the next thing I did was I grabbed that webbing and I really stretched it out to get that spidery vibe, that creepy look. And then I used the spiders that came with the webbing and I made it look like they were crawling out of the cauldron. And I think it came out so good. Okay, I promised more leaf action, so let's get into it. It was so satisfying to see all the pressed leaves, but I don't know why I'm throwing them on the table like they aren't the most fragile thing ever. So for this DIY, all I'm going to do is take some twine that I already have and use some good old-fashioned Elmer's glue to glue the twine to the back of the leaves to make like a hanging leaf decor piece. So here, I'm just laying them out on the table how I'll want to hang them from the string. So the back side's up. So that's what I'm gluing on right now. And then I needed to use like random items to hold the string and the glue. And then I just left them overnight to dry.
Witches.
So it's the next day, and here is the final product. It is cuter than I could have imagined. I love this look, and it was basically free. Again, I love the shadows it makes on the walls and everything about it. So now I'm at the point where I'm just grabbing everything I have and I'm trying to just fill up this area to make it super spooky and witchy. I had those orange lights that I got from the dollar store, so I wanted to put them in these jars. Surprise, surprise, the jar I'm trying to open right now, pretty sure it doesn't open. Why was I upset? I was like, whatever jar, fine. So I just shoved that up there and I found a new jar to put the orange lights in.
Sparkle turns to shadows creep. What was bright, she makes it deep. Boom, boom, witches. Boom, boom, pretty flowers now they rot. Her magic touch, it leaves the blood.
So this is actually where my monstera lives. It has the best light in the house. So I put it back and it filled up the space a lot, like I knew it would. And now I'm just adding everything else. The cauldron is so cute. I wasn't really sure where I was going. I was just taking all the decor I had and I'm just throwing it in there. That fabric thing, I've had that for years. I got it from the dollar store, so I bet you they have something similar still. And I just started messing with it. I think I retacked it on the wall 3 different times. And then finally I said, let's just throw it on the shelf and then stack things on top of it. And that was the way to go. So if you're decorating and it's just not quite working out for you, don't panic, right? Just kind of throw it somewhere, just figure it out. And then if later you decide there's a better spot for it, change it up. Just get everything out so you can get a good visual and then you can start moving things around. You'll notice that I'm often moving things here and there, right?
Space and go in, my dear. Candles flicker, night is clear. Cauldron bubbles full of dreams. In the dark where magic beams. Bats fly high across the sky. Pumpkins grin as we zoom by. Dusty spell books on the shelf. Secrets whisper to themselves. Moonlit shadows, witches fight. Dancing through the haunted night. Spooky tales in ghostly light. Halloween's a witch's delight. Like twinkling stars, skeletons play old guitars. Fog rolls in like silken night, cobwebs catching silver light. Potions brew with smoke so green, goblins lurk.
This candle holder is another thing I thrifted. I got it 2 months ago. I was stoked when I found this. And then those candles, I got them from the dollar store. I think it's a 2-pack for $1.25. And then after I'm done lighting this, I'm going to start on the last DIY. And I'm going to go out on a whim here and say this one was basically free as well. I'm going to make a witch's broom, and all these supplies you see, I foraged from the forest. No, but for reals, I was camping last month and I picked this moss off a tree and, picked up the wood from the ground. So now I'm just taking the sticks and I'm going to make a little bouquet basically. Oh, I guess I am using red eucalyptus. It's from Hobby Lobby. I just had leftover. And honestly, the eucalyptus really did help fill it out. So I'm going to make basically a bouquet with the eucalyptus and the sticks. And then I'm going to put the main stick, the broom handle, right in the middle. And then I use twine that I already had to twist it all up.
Midnight strikes, we cast our charms in each other's magic arms. Moonlit shadows, witches fight, dancing through the haunted night. Spooky tales in ghostly light. Halloween's a witch's delight.
So So my vision for the moss was to like put it around the broom, kind of like how I'm doing here. And my husband, bless him, had the best idea. We had like some metal wire in our craft supplies, and he said, just twist that around the moss. And I did, and it worked out perfect. I'm not gonna lie, look at my tablecloth. It was a mess. And my floor was kind of messy too, but it took 10 minutes to clean up. And the broom was so cute. Once that's all secured, the last thing I'm doing is I'm just breaking off the extra sticks at the top of the broom. This was probably my favorite craft. Like, I loved those leaves, but the broom is so cute, and it was the perfect thing that I needed to like fill up the space right in the middle of the apothecary. So I'm just gonna lean it right up against the shelves here. It's so cute. If you guys are still watching, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And please, if you haven't already, like the video and subscribe so you can see more videos like this. I'm a small creator. I'm just starting out. I'm learning a lot, and I really want to create the community for everybody to just, be virtual friends. So thanks again. I hope you have an awesome season.
Moon is rising high tonight. Shadows creeping left and right. Howls and whispers fill the air. Something's lurking in the square. Pumpkins glow with eerie light. Monsters roam in search of fright. Footsteps echo down